Picture this. It is 3 a.m. and you have an assignment due in the next hour. Your fingers are flying across the keyboard, moving so swiftly that you might accidentally go airborne. Racing against the clock, you hear it, tick-tocking, almost as if it was mocking you, as the adrenaline courses through your veins. The caffeine you've consumed, it hits you all at once as your dry mouth yearns for the taste of victory. It's all or nothing. Failure means damnation, and you will not let that happen. Finally, as you reach the end, you jump up in victory, almost bringing back the prehistoric dinosaurs with your roars. If it weren't for your parents sleeping right across from you behind closed doors. You look at the time, it's 3:50, letting out a huge sigh of relief. Now that you have finally beat all the levels of Tetris, you can start working on your homework assignment. Alright, let's exit night and enter light here for a second. I think a lot of people neglect sleep much more than they should. Sure, everyone has their fair share of staying up late and doing whatever they want to. And even I do it, but we'll get back to that later. My point is that sleep deprivation can be much more harmful than you think it is. And I can guarantee that the short-term feeling of staying up late will not outweigh the long-term health consequences that there are. Alright, first of all, we will start off with a fun quiz. Right here. So, what I want you to do is I want you to guess whether these 4 options are caused by someone who's an avid smoker or someone who lacks sleep. Now, yeah, so we'll do this by show of hands, and I'll let you consider these options for a few seconds here. Cheers. Also stay hydrated. Alright, now that you're ready to choose, let's see. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Alright, diabetes. Who thinks this is caused by someone who's an avid smoker? Raise your hand. Interesting. And as for, and who thinks it's caused by someone who lacks sleep? Raise your hand. Alright, interesting. Cardiovascular issues, otherwise known as heart and lung issues. Who thinks this is caused by someone being an avid smoker? Raise your hand. I see. And who thinks this is caused by someone with sleep deprivation? Alright. Kidney problems. Someone who's an avid smoker. Sleep deprivation. And finally, depression. What do you think? Smoker? Or sleep deprivation? Alright, well, technically, none of you are wrong because all of the answers are correct for both of them. Alright, congratulations. Be proud of yourself. Now, I was surprised to hear about this too, right? It's not every day that you hear someone with kidney problems and it's caused by sleep deprivation. But this is actually because sleep plays a big role in your organ function. Along with this, when someone lacks sleep, their hormone production gets irregular, and this leads to a chain reaction that leads to your pancreas not being able to keep up with your blood sugar level, which causes diabetes. And now, these are some pretty serious effects, right? But you know how things go sometimes, and I'm not saying that any of you will procrastinate your health away, but I'm totally saying that some of you will procrastinate your health away. I mean, come on, we're middle schoolers, even adults do it sometimes. So let me list some of the short-term effects that sleep deprivation has. And you might be surprised to see how many aspects of your life it truly affects. Let's take academics, for example. Right? You want to get those good grades up so you can lead a good life. Fair, good. But you might be inclined to stay up studying all night. But you shouldn't do this, actually, because staying up all night will cause you to become drowsy and you won't be able to focus as well in class. And I'm pretty sure you all know the feeling, right? It's much harder to focus in class when you're barely awake to process the information yourself. And let's say you want to be a pro gamer. You want to be a Valorant immortal. Right, fine. But sleep deprivation, despite maybe you staying up all night to practice the game, it'll actually have a negative effect because you'll have a significant decrease in reaction time. And I'm sure none of you are surprised to hear that it can cause stress too. According to the American Psychological Association, teens who get less than 8 hours of sleep report having much higher stress levels than their peers who get an adequate amount of 8 hours. However, there is one really good way to avoid all of this. And what is it?
Sleep.
Yes, sleeping. Also, you guys don't sound like you're about to fall asleep. Please wake up. Other than just steering clear of the consequences above, sleep actually has a lot of benefits to it. For example, if you're athletic, you would know that sleep is a key part in recovery. Along with this, it is really good for our mental health function. During sleep, our brain fluctuates between different stages of sleep and in different areas of our brain. This leads to improved thinking, memory, and learning. It's all really like a superpower. You get all these amazing benefits, and all you have to do is, well, lay down and do nothing. All of this being said, how does one fall asleep? Now, I may be up to here preaching about how you should do this and that, and how you shouldn't stay up late. But I'm no stranger to being an insomniac, and I can't blame you either if you can't fall asleep at night. But luckily for you, yes, all of you, I have the perfect example of what to do. Now tell me, what do you see on this board? Nothing! Exactly! And that is what you should be doing when you're trying to fall asleep too. Now, this is obvious to some extent, right? Like I've mentioned before, you shouldn't be staying up late gaming, or doing your homework, or writing that TEDx speech that you've neglected writing the past 2 weeks. Wonder who could that be? And listening to music, because you shouldn't be expecting to fall asleep like that. But what do we really mean by doing nothing? Well, listen up, because what I'm going to tell you right now is something that's called the military technique. This may sound a bit intimidating at first, but you do not have to be at war to try this technique out. However, you may be at war with your mind, and this technique will help you calm it down. Alright, first of all, just get your room to a comfortable temperature, right? You can't sleep when you're in a sauna, or you're in Antarctica, right? Right, good. And now you just want to get in this neutral log sort of position, like this. Not very complicated. Just have your feet at a comfortable distance apart from each other, and your arms relaxed by your side. And now, this part is optional, but in the military technique, they tend to relax their body parts from their heads to their shoulders and eventually to their toes. You can do this if you want to, but it's pretty optional. See what works best with you and what you're most comfortable with. The most important part is getting relaxed. And finally, the last step is, what are you supposed to think? Right? Thoughts are racing in your head. Well, you should imagine either this: a relaxing scenery, don't think at all, like meditation, or think about not thinking, like as in don't think. However, with the last one, I would like to clarify that if your heart rate gets too fast or your mind gets too fast too, then you should probably avoid this and think of a relaxing scenery instead, as the whole point of this is to get you to relax and calm down. I do not want you to feel like you're in 1984, it's some dystopian world and everyone is watching you. You can't move an inch, you're breathing intensely, you cannot say anything, you cannot hear anything, you cannot see anything. No, just be calm, relaxed. Think about the relaxing scenery, relax your body parts, everything's going to be okay. And a mistake a lot of people make is viewing sleep as a chore, when it really is a core part of our lives, like diet and hydration. And while the consequences, the short-term ones, may seem a little insignificant now, they will really pile up over time and they will become pretty serious. And this will really affect every part of your lives, whether you want to become pro gamer, best athlete ever, or you just really want to get those good grades. Sleep is going to be a key part of it. And that's why tonight, when you all go home, I want you to remember this. Before you consider I don't know, maybe staying up late again, watching YouTube, scrolling through TikTok, I want you to reconsider and go to bed instead. Okay? Try sleeping. Try clearing your mind. Try the military technique. And see what works with you. And you might be surprised to see how such a small, minute change can make your life that much better. Thank you.